Our last question that I'm going to look at in tonight's show is a question that deals with graphs. Okay, they give us a lot of information about the graph g of x. Now notice that they do not give us the value of a, b, and c, and that we have a 0x squared here. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3 variables to work with, and the reason why they told us a cannot be 0 is because this needs to remain a cubic. If a was 0, just imagine you'll be left with bx plus c, which is a line. Okay, so a is not 0 because it remains cubic. So let's quickly run through what this is saying. It's saying the derivative is positive. In other words, the gradient of this function is positive. In other words, it is increasing. If a gradient is positive, the graph will lie that way. Okay, so where does it increase? It increases between or with x smaller than 3 or where x is bigger than 3. Okay, so we know where it's increasing. It's increasing over there. Then the derivative is negative. The gradient, in other words, is negative, so the function will be decreasing. Okay, and they also tell us that it is decreasing between -3 and 3. Now that must mean something, folks. If they repeated those 2 points, they said to this side of the point it's increasing, or increasing, and to this side of that point it's increasing, and between the 2 points it's decreasing, means that if it goes through the 2 points, the gradient changed from positive to negative. The only time that will happen is if those are stationary points. Okay, let's see. And indeed they tell us this, that at the point -3 and at the point 3, this graph is stationary. Okay, let's write this, stationary at those 2 points. Okay, and what does this mean? Where's x 0? X is 0 at the y-intercept. Now they tell us that y-intercept is bigger than 0, so it means it is positive. Okay, notice that they did not give us any of the roots. Okay, so we don't know the x-intercepts, but that's not a problem. We can draw a relatively accurate graph in terms of how the graph behaves, because what they've given us here is how the graph behaves. Okay, so let's go to the set of Cartesian axes. We have our y-axis there. At -3, there's a stationary point. So on that line, the graph is stationary. On this line, the graph is also stationary. And then they say it cuts the y-axis at a point that is positive. Now, between these two, the graph is decreasing. So it has a gradient. So let's just put the 1 up there. And we can put the other point down here. I'm just going to be funny and put it over there. We don't know where it goes to. So for that section, it comes down and it goes through this point. And then on the right, it increases. And to the left of this point here, it is also an increasing curve. So there's the curve of g of x. This is 0. That's the y-axis. And that is the x-axis. And they would have made provision, folks, for you if you put that second turning point above. Okay, that was a chock and block show. That question came from KG. Thank you very much.